What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone who support the platform. Much love, much love, much love. Salute to everyone that's in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to everyone. If y'all can hear me, please drop a one in the chat real quick. Drop a one in the chat real quick. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Okay. I see a couple of ones. I see you guys can hear me. I see you guys can hear me. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. And of course, we are back right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm y'all host, DS1 Ross. Of course, I appreciate all the love and the support. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. Happy Saturday to everyone. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. Shout out to my lovely lady mods, as always, that always come through and hold it down. Salute to all the new supporters. If you are a new supporter here, welcome back to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I appreciate all the love and the support. We got another great show lined up for you guys today. We won't be that long, but we definitely have to talk about this. So, before we get into it, right? Let me shout everyone out. Let me see who's in the building. Make sure y'all double tap y'all screens. Double tap y'all screens and hit that like button. Hit that like button on the way in. Hit that like button on the way in. Make sure you don't forget to hit that like button on the way in. Also, share the show, y'all. Share it on y'all community tabs, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you share content. Share the show, man. Share the show. Share the show. Share the show. So let's see who's in the building. Let's see who's in the building, and then we're gonna get into it. Shout out to Miss Angie B. Hey, Miss Angie. Shout out to Miss Angie B. Happy Saturday, Miss Angie. We got a lovely lady mod in here today. The first lovely lady mod. Good to see you, Miss Angie. Happy Saturday. And in case you missed yesterday's show, Miss Angie dropped the link in the chat. If you missed yesterday's show, Miss Angie dropped the link in the chat. Thank you so much, Miss Angie. Shout out to you. Shout out to the cynical one. What up, Sin? Happy Saturday to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, we are live today, Sin. We live today. Shout out to you, Sin. Good to see you, as always. So we got two lovely lady mods in here today. We got three lovely lady mods in here today. What's up, Scorpio? Happy Saturday to you, Scorpio Mama. Good to see you. I appreciate your support, as always. Shout out to my man, City Boy Floyd, in the building. Salute, Brody. Salute. Stefan Green. What's up, Stefan? What's going on, fam? What's going on? A2Z. What's up, A2Z? What's going on? Shout out to everyone. Yeah, I'm live, son. I'm live. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. We definitely gonna get into this today because I've been putting off this Gavin Newsom show for a couple of days now. I've been putting off this show. I had one scheduled for a couple of days, but we're gonna get into it today. What up, JR Meadows? Peace, fam. Peace, peace. Shout out to the DMV in the building. What up, JR? Salute, man. Appreciate your support, bro. Right? So y'all see the show. Y'all see the title. Gavin Newsom exposed. The corruption you won't see on CNN. See, as we've been speaking about here on this channel, right? We've been highlighting and documenting, right, the government corruption that's being uncovered during this current Trump administration. America is being exposed. This is a American exposure. Everything that you see going on, just know that everything that you see going on during this second Trump administration, right? It is all an American exposure. The things that are being exposed are things that we've been wondering, things we've been considered conspiracy theorists about, a lot of lies, right? And a lot of this stuff is being uncovered. What's up, Benjamin Brown? Salute to you, man. I appreciate you. What up, the tribe? Shout out to the tribe in the building. Right? And like I've been telling y'all, the people who are being exposed, right? The people who are a part of these criminal things, they're blaming Trump for them being exposed. And this is why you have so many people who's against Trump, who doesn't want Trump here, who doesn't want him in office. It is specifically because he's exposing who, what, when, why, and how America has become a shithole. And not only is he identifying those things, the who, what, when, why, and how, he's holding the people accountable. The who's that's a part of doing things, he's holding them accountable. Some of them lost their positions and lost their jobs. Some of them are being publicly humiliated. You see? And again, this is what you see going on in America currently. Down to the celebrities. It's all part of America being exposed. Because the celebrities who are being exposed are a part of what? American entertainment. So it's all encompassing. This is why people don't want Donald Trump in office, y'all. Because he's a disruption in the system. You see? When everybody was just chilling and thinking they got everything under control, right? Here come Donald Trump to disrupt everything and to make everybody who's doing wrong uncomfortable. See, if you're not out here doing wrong, why should you feel some type of way? You see, the people who feel some type of way are the people, and they should feel some type of way because they're being called out. They're being put out there. Who they are and what they were a part of. Shout out to Ms. L'Oreal in the building. We got another lovely lady mod in the building today. Happy Saturday to you, L'Oreal. Good to see you. We got one top lovely lady mod in here today. Shout out to you. Good to see you as always. I appreciate you. Takeen, what's up, Takeen? I'm in the Bay Area right now, and these new apartment buildings that was being built is on pause right now because illegals can't be illegals. We got to get these apartments. Shout out to you, Takeen. Shout out to you. right? And this is why people are against Trump, especially the people who are in the government. And one of his main adversaries right now, one of his main adversaries is Gavin Newsom. He's one of his main adversaries, the governor of California. And see, today, we're going to go through a couple of things and show y'all what's going on in California, what's been going on in California, and why Gavin Newsom doesn't want to take the blame for what's going on in California. See, this is why he's so mad at Trump, because Trump wants to hold him accountable. And he thinks that he's not the problem. There's a lot of people who's been sitting in the government with that mentality for a long time, that I can get paid all of this money and not understand that I'm held to a certain level of accountability. I have a lot of responsibility. I am a governor. I'm a governor. So that doesn't mean playtime for me. Being a governor is not a hustle. But this is how a lot of politicians play the politic game. They treat it like a hustle. And they get in these positions and they pillage. They take, and take. And then y'all be wondering why some of these places are in the positions that they're in. See, Trump is the first president in a long time where these states are his concern. The conditioning of these states. What's going on in these states? What's going on in the local governments? What's going on? Again, him and his administration they're flipping every rock over. And they want answers. And it makes guys like Gavin Newsom very uncomfortable. It makes him very uncomfortable. The tribe says new scum just takes orders. It's a plan. California is a failed social experiment. Talk about it, the tribe. Gavin Newsom was trying to start the NWO of California. He's protecting pedos. He's forcing kids to get transitioned by arresting parents, putting them in foster care system. See, and from what this sounds like a woman who's out in California. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Shout out to you, Takeem. I appreciate you. Q Sims, I appreciate you. Shout out to Q Sims. What up, Hammer? What's good? Straight Godzilla. What up, Straight Godzilla? So, while all of this stuff is going on in California right now, right? Look at what's walking around in the streets. This is why Donald Trump, and I'm gonna play the video where he speaks on Gavin. But look at what's going on in California right now. Look at this. A Rizbot. Look at this, y'all. A Rizbot A gay robot known as the Rizbot was spotted walking around in Los Angeles, California. Y'all see this shit? A Rizbot, a LGBTQ robot. It says not Elon's. Look at this, not Elon's. Look at this. This is nuts. Of course, this was built by the Chinese. Look at this. In California. Talking about a failed social experiment, huh? Talking about a failed social experiment. It's in California right now. That's what's going on in the streets. Y'all got gay robots walking around. And Gavin Newsom is just, he doesn't have anything to say about anything. Like, oh well. Like he doesn't have anything to say about anything. Right, that's the proof. The tribe. That's crazy. That's crazy. MP says some homeless guy will try and F it. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Yes, it's nasty work. It's nasty work, city boy. Carmen says, this is nothing but beast number ready to go. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's get into this article. Let me show y'all why Gavin Newsom is not fit for the job. Look at this. And we're also, before we get into this article, right, we're also going to play a video with the California sheriff speaking on Gavin Newsom. We're going to get into it today, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Double tap y'all screens, man. Double tap y'all screens. Shout out to my guy, Third Ward in the building. What up, Third? Salute, bro. You saw that? Zesty robots. It's getting crazy out here, bro. It's getting crazy out here. Zesty robots walking around in the streets. Walking around in the streets. The tribe says China is better than Cali in manufacturing. Socially, they seem on par. Takeen says all that ish gonna fail. He never was fit for the job. What up, Dollar Washer? What's going on, fam? R2, me too. The tribe says all California politicians are grade C actors. Damn. Damn. Let's get into this article, y'all. Look at this. Sheriff, this is from June 10th of this year, June 10th. Sheriff tells Newsom to put phone down, be quiet after anti-ICE riots response, doing nothing but fueling this process. Now, before we get into this article, right? Who remembers when we was talking about the anti-ICE protests? Who remembers? Because we spoken about it over here. And we're going to find out something about these protests and what was going on. Let's continue. A California sheriff running for governor has slammed current governor Gavin Newsom for fueling the Los Angeles riots, telling the Democrat to put the phone down and stay out of the way of law enforcement. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bonacco said the rioters clearly are not protesting immigration and customs enforcement and should not be left free to facilitate the downfall of our civilized society. So, what we just found out, right, was Gavin Newsom was fueling these riots. The sheriff said on June 10th that they wasn't protesting. So what the hell was we looking at? Was we watching a movie set? Was we watching a bunch of crisis actors? So what was that? You know, the footage that was blasted all over the internet? Was we watching a movie? Because the sheriff just said nobody was protesting. Or am I misunderstanding what I'm reading? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Were we watching crisis actors, Hammer? Were we watching crisis actors? Let's read it again. So y'all don't think I'm tripping. Let's read it again. Let's read it again. A California sheriff running for governor has slammed current governor Gavin Newsom. This article, look, y'all, so y'all can see it for yourself, published June 10th, 2025, 7:16 a.m. So y'all don't think I'm capping. This is from the New York Post, right? So y'all know it's a real article, okay? A California sheriff running for governor has slammed current governor Gavin Newsom for fueling the Los Angeles riots, telling the Democrat to put his phone down and stay out of the way of law enforcement. You see what this guy has a habit of doing? He doesn't respect order. He doesn't respect law and order. This is coming from the current sheriff. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Banaco said the rioters clearly are not protesting. So what was we seeing? So what was we seeing, y'all? Everybody in the chat. What was we seeing? What was we watching? What was we watching? Those wasn't protests. Those wasn't. What's going on here? I'm all I just read, and y'all just read it with me. Y'all just read it with me. I'm showing y'all the article. It's right here. New York Post, June 10th, 2025. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Banaco said the rioters clearly are not protesting. That this guy, Gavin Newsom, was fueling them to protest, was fueling them to do things. Look, they are trying to violently influence something by political action. This guy right here. This guy. Because he hates Donald Trump, y'all. This is coming from the Riverside County Sheriff who said this about Gavin. He doesn't respect order. Let's continue. Look, y'all. Look at the pictures. He urged Newsom to put his phone down and be quiet because he's doing nothing but fueling this process. He needs to stay out of the way of law enforcement. This is what the governor of California is doing. Instead of worrying about taking care of the goddamn people, this is what he's doing. The sheriff says he needs to stay out of the way of law enforcement. He knows nothing about this. He knows absolutely nothing about the enforcement of law. Now listen to this. He despises. Let's read that again. This is coming from the sheriff now about Gavin Newsom. They're saying he despises the enforcement of law, and he has encouraged this. This man was encouraging these goddamn immigrants to riot. The governor of California was doing this shit to undermine Donald Trump. This is crazy. I said, oh, nah, we got to talk about this, man. I said, we got to talk about this. This man, why would he do this? I'm going to tell y'all why. I'm going to tell you why he's doing it. Because he's anti-American. He doesn't care about the American people. That's why. That's why. Shout out to the residential OG. Salute, OG. Shout out to Elisino in the building. Salute. Hey, Kari. Shout out to Miss Kari D in the building. How you doing, Kari? He doesn't care about the American people, Hammer. Why would he do this? And the sheriff is saying this about him. The sheriff is saying this about him. Another high official, high-level official, high-ranking official. The Riverside County Sheriff is saying this about the governor. This is not the people saying this about the government. No, these are two high-ranking officials. One saying this about the other. Y'all don't see what's going on here? What up, D's? Shout out to D's in the building. D says Newsom gonna get unalived. He better yo D's. Hey D's, I didn't want to say that, bro. But he better stop playing. He better stop playing. Elon too. Elon too. They better stop playing. They better chill. They better chill. They better chill. Him and Elon, both of them. And I believe behind the scenes, him and Elon is teamed up too. How you doing, Alyssa? Alyssa says he cares about all his people on his state, which includes immigrants. I don't think so. I think he's undermining authority, Alyssa. I think he's allowing these things to go on in California to undermine the president. He's specifically going against what he was ordered to do. Murder Dubs says, you're not even from California. You out here speaking on California. I bet you from New York. Yeah, I am from New York. I am from New York. Yep. You got it. You got it, Murder Dubs. Just like y'all always speaking on us. Just like y'all always speaking on us, homie. It's all love. We talking about politics, bro. not gang politics. We ain't talking about gang politics, homie. It's all love. Alyssa says no one is illegal on stolen land. Okay. Okay, Alyssa. Okay. You got it. You got it, Alyssa. You got it. You got it. Takeen says it's illegal if you are coming here and still instilling taxpayer dollars, money to feed your ass. You living off the government. That's our taxpayer dollars. It's a crime. Takeen not playing. Takeen not playing. California was Mexico, but the Mexicans sold the country. Check your history. Shout out to Takeen in the building. She not playing. She said, check your history. Don't come in with that. Kari says he doesn't care about his people. His actions do not line up with his words. And we don't have to be from California to speak on that. Exactly. We're speaking on American politics. Exactly, Kari. Exactly. I don't mind being Biggie 2.0. I don't mind, bro. Darren says he's defying federal law. He should be arrested. His new BF in prison will use his hair gel. Miss Angie says he can't stand Governor Newsom. No, I'm about to play the video right now. Miss Angie. I'm about to play the video right now. Because he doesn't like Gavin Newsom because he's a prick. Like this dude just do stuff just to undermine people. Like if he not getting his way, he just gonna do something to just mess things up. And that's childish, bro. It's kind of like Elon. And he can't stand Trump. He's like one of them hard-headed children that just won't listen. Just because you told them to do it, they not gonna do it, type of shit. That's Gavin. So let's hear what Trump got to say about Gavin. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
Okay. Sir, Mr. President. Go ahead. With the glasses, gentlemen. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, are you going to cut funds in the sanctuary states, like, for instance, California, that keep supporting illegal immigration, and then these people work under
Yeah, we're giving them a
table?
hard time.
And also, a foreign policy question.
I mean, they don't have a governor in California. They have a man that wants to give away everything to people that nobody's seen before.
You heard him? He said they don't even have a governor. This guy want to give everything away to people we've never seen before. Listen to what he said. Fair use. Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said about Gavin. And whoever's in the building from California, put in the chat if Trump is lying or not. Put in the chat if he's lying or not.
Okay.
Sir, Mr. President.
Go ahead. With the glasses, gentlemen. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, are you going to cut funds in the sanctuary states, like, for instance, California, that keep supporting illegal immigration, and then these people work under
Yeah, we're giving them
table?
a hard time.
And also, a foreign policy
I
question.
mean, they don't have a governor in California. They have a man that wants to give away everything to people that nobody's seen before. If we didn't go into Los Angeles with the military, which did a fantastic job, but if we didn't go into Los Angeles bringing in the National Guard, I would have brought the military if it was necessary, because you have to. We have the right to. That was another thing upheld by the Supreme Court. But if we didn't go in with the National Guard and be strong and tough, you wouldn't maybe have Los Angeles. It would be like the rest of California, the rest of Los Angeles. They lost 25,000 houses in a fire. They should have lost none. You know, I sent the water down. I had to break into their water supply because they just refused to do it. They're crazy. There's something wrong with them. They have plenty of water. They don't have droughts or anything. They have we let it come down from the Pacific Northwest. They routed all the water out into the Pacific Ocean for environmental reasons, okay? And now you have 25,000 houses, none of which would have burned down if you had the water. They didn't have water. They didn't have water for the fire pumps. They didn't have water in the sprinkler systems that people put in. So the answer is we're going to work with governors. We're going to work with radical left Democrats and Democrats, and we're going to make it good for everybody. We'll have to stop the crime in those, or in the case of the cities, I think I can say just about all cities with heavy crime are run by Democrats.
Yeah.
All cities that are ran by Democrats are ridden with crime. All cities that are ran by Democrats are ridden with crime. Hey, Miss Camille, good to see you, love. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Got another lovely lady mod in here today. Happy Saturday. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Y'all heard what he said? Now, on top of him saying that all the Democratic cities are ridden with crime, listen to what he said he had to do. He said, them houses wouldn't have burned down if they didn't reroute the water. He said that he had to send in the military and the National Guard to save Los Angeles, to save California. Because this idiot, y'all ain't had no water. Trump said we had to break into the water system. We had to break into their water system. Because this guy just refused to do what's right. And like Trump said, he doesn't get it. Like, why are y'all doing this? Like, what the hell? This is what this guy's doing. Just running around being a political prick. Oh, I'm not going to do anything. If I'm not going to get my way, I'm not going to do anything they tell me. Like Elon's doing. These guys don't get their way. They start thinking they can become a disruption in the program. This is what they're doing there. Which is what? Anti-American behavior. Anti-American behavior. Borderline treason. When you're disobeying executive order, meaning orders that come from the president and his administration, that's borderline treasonous. That's anti-American behavior. How you took an oath to do your job for America in the name of being an American, and then as soon as you stop getting your way, you become anti-American. And believe it or not, y'all, it's a lot of people in this country like that. It's a lot of people in this country like that. And I guess it took Donald Trump to be in office again, because people thought it would never happen again. I guess it took for it to happen again for people to show who they really are. Honestly. Feds are the rule of law. What's up, Bruce Taylor? This guy's crazy, man. This guy's nuts. Now let's listen to the sheriff, right? Let's listen to the sheriff speak about him. Because this guy's crazy, man. This guy's crazy. Fair use.
Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco blasting Governor Newsom on the issue of crime, as Bianco leading an effort to reform the controversial 2014 ballot measure Prop 47, which reclassified a number of felonies, including retail and property theft, as well as narcotics possession, as misdemeanors. With more on what he calls the Homeless Drug Addiction and Theft Reduction Act, we are joined by Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. Sheriff, welcome. Great to see you.
Thanks, Alex. It's been a while. Thank you.
I know. So in the most simple terms, what are you pushing as a reform of Prop 47?
Very simple. It's just a new proposition because Prop 47 was a voter-approved initiative. So the only way to fix it is the voters have to approve it. So we are proposing not a repeal of Prop 47, but a new proposition we're labeling as the Homeless Drug Addiction and Theft Reduction Act that will basically do that. Repeal the three worst parts of Prop 47 that law enforcement, prosecutors, even our public defenders know that have been a disaster from the very beginning. They just haven't been addressed. So we're hoping to get this on the ballot. We believe we have enough signatures. There's a few more weeks to go, but we have the right number. It just depends on whether or not we qualify the number of signatures and then get it back to the voters. Overwhelmingly, polling shows that Prop 47 needs to be repealed, and we hope to do it this way.
So you need 546,000 signatures, and the deadline is later this month. They'll have to verify all those signatures. So you said three things need to change. What are those three things?
Well, the biggest thing that we have is drug addiction and alcohol problems, and what Prop 47 did by taking away the ability to get people into rehab. There used to be you would go to court and you had your choice. You either went to rehab or you went to jail or prison, and you could pick which one you wanted to go to. That was all taken away with Prop 47. All drug crimes have been made misdemeanors, which the reality of California is there's no consequence for a misdemeanor in California. So by changing that, we can now put these people back into rehab. We can get them into rehab. Hopefully that fixes them, at least for a little while, if not permanently, and then we can move them toward getting them off of the street. So the homeless issue, we need to stop calling it homeless. It really isn't that. It's drug addiction and alcohol addiction that's causing mental health issues, and we don't need to argue about which causes which. We just know that it's factual. And
do y'all hear what this man is saying? This man just said, who's the sheriff, right? The River County, River County Sheriff, Riverside County Sheriff. Let me get it right. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's from Cali. I don't want to disrespect y'all because y'all already banging on me in the chat because I'm from New York and I'm talking about Cali. So let me make sure I get it right. The Riverside County Sheriff just said that it's not a homelessness problem. It's a drug and alcohol addiction problem. Ooh. Oh. Well, that just changed the dynamic of things. And he said, according to Prop 47, that these people couldn't get help no more. They couldn't go to rehab. So a lot of them end up on the street strung out and homeless. They strung out and homeless. They not just homeless because they ain't got no money to pay no bills. It's because they are addictions. And these people ain't able to be in no facilities and get no rehab. So they just homeless. So a large population of the homeless, quote, and I'm gonna put it in quotations because that's what the Riverside County Sheriff just said, that a lot of the people who are homeless are strung out. That's why they're homeless. It's a drug and alcohol epidemic that's not being addressed by the local government. Looks like someone's haven't been doing their job. Huh? Takeem says, listen, I have been in New York. I love New York. They better back the F off you. It's all love, Takeem. It's all love. But I know how Californians feel about New Yorkers. I know how they feel. You feel me? What's up, Miss Gigi? How you doing? Shout out to Miss Keita T in the building. Hey, Keita T. How you doing? Happy Saturday to you. Good to see you in the building today. We got another lovely lady mod in here. Miss Angie says, I'll agree with that. That's how most become homeless. They're not dealing with the mental issues, so they turn into drugs and alcohol. It's a domino effect. See that? And the people who are dealing with this should be able to receive help. But according to the sheriff and this Prop 47 stuff, these people are not able, or their help was cut off because he said these people were not able to receive rehab. So he wants a new thing to come out. He wants something new to come out so the people can be helped. And see, as y'all notice, he didn't say that these people should just be put in jail. He said, no, these people need to go to rehab and get help for their mental issues. See, because what the government is realizing, y'all, and they're not going to come out and say it. Some of y'all may want them to, but they're not going to come out and say it. But they know that just throwing people in jail not going to fix the goddamn problem. You see, that's no longer the hustle. The jail hustle. Oh, just throw everybody in jail. That doesn't work anymore. All the goddamn money being spent to build these jails and to house these prisoners and to make sure they got clothes and to make sure they got food and got to pay all the prisoners and all the different other areas surrounding the prison. They tired of spending all that goddamn money. They want to keep that federal money. They want to be able to recirculate that money through the system. This is why they talking about putting chips in your head. We spoke about that. And shout out to my man, Big Dice. He spoke about it on his platform too. Y'all can look it up, Cognify. Because they know that just putting people in jail not the answer no more. Us just using that and getting paid hasn't helped the system. It's doing the reverse effect. It's hurting the system. It's hurting America. The prison industrial complex, the school to prison pipeline. That's not helping. It's hurting them. See, it looked good in the beginning, but look where we at now. This is why you have people in the government now that want this shit to end. Because if it doesn't end, we'll have no future. Let me say that again. If you don't have a group of people that want to step up and fix this shit, we won't have a future. If it keep going the way it's been going, it's not going to be no future. Our children won't have no future in this country. If we didn't get somebody in office and an administration that was going to say, this shit got to stop, or there will be no future here. It's just that simple. Why do you think they stopped all the drug dealing? Why do you think they outlawing all the selling of sex? Pornography. They're banning pornography. Because they're trying to save society. Listen, y'all, think about this. Think about this. If they already thought that they may have to use robots to save humanity, just imagine where we really are. Think about that. They have to employ this foreign alien technology. That's what AI is. You know, that's what AI stand for. alien interaction. I'm making that up, y'all. I'm making that up. Right? But if they got to use technology to teach humans how to interact civilly, do you know where we really are in society as humans? We can't get a decent cashier no more. So now we need a robot to tell us, have a nice day. Don't forget your change. Here's your receipt. Have a nice day. Merry Christmas. Because somebody behind a register with a stank attitude who just don't want to do their goddamn job. So they replacing humans with robots. You know how far, do you know how far from humanity we gotta be? And that's the spiritual part of it. But the spiritual part trickles down into the social part of it. The social, the economic, you know, the pillars of the government. So we need an administration who sees where society is at and where it's headed, and a group of people that's going to come in and say, this shit got to stop. This got to stop. We got to slow this thing down. We got to slow this thing down. You know, we dealing with spiritual warfare. We're dealing with a mental health crisis. Spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare. We got machines telling humans how to be humane. How the hell you got a robot walking around your house cleaning up your house? This is how inhumane we've gotten. You're going to let a robot clean up your house. Think about that. So if we don't have a group of people like the Trump administration that sees where we are and where we headed and come in and try to do something in the capacity in which they can do it in, why y'all got a problem with that? And as American people, we need to sit back and see all the people that's against Donald Trump is against the American people. Let me say that again. All the people who's against Donald Trump is against the best interests of the American people. Straight up. Especially the people who are in government positions. All the people who are in the government who are anti-Trump, who are anti-MAGA. Guess what else they are? They are anti-American citizen. That means you. That means they don't care about what happens to you, your husband, your wife, your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter, your grandmama. They don't care about none of that. Don't forget that either. If a government official don't respect the people in their own field, how the hell you think they respect and care about what they do for us? This is why I told Trump, hey, Trump, send them to the alligators. Send them to the alligators. I forgot who said that earlier in the chat. His ass better chill. My man D's. D's said his ass better chill. Yeah, they'll find his ass floating in the Everglades. Because that's what I want Trump to do to everybody who commit treason. Send them to the alligators. That's what you do. That's what you do. It's some reptiles and amphibians that need to grow out there. Yeah. Send his ass to the alligators. Yeah. Oh, you anti-American? Oh, you don't care about the American people, right? Alligators. Alligators. Find his ass floating with the alligators, D's. Send him to the alligators, Trump. Kari says, I agree. Send him to the alligators. The puffer fish, too. The puffer fish, too. Eat them. Get them out of here. What's up, Kayvon? Get them out of here. Because it's all government corruption. It's government corruption. Now, y'all just heard from the Riverside County Sheriff about Prop 47 and why he's against Prop 47 and what Prop 47 has done. This is because of who? Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom. This is because of him. This is because of him. It's because of him, y'all. He's a problem. He's a problem. He's a problem. And I think Trump should get him out of here. Trump should get him out of here. And see, Trump's firing back. He's firing back. He's firing back. Let me pull up this article real quick. Shout out to everyone that's in the building, by the way. Double tap your screens and hit that like button. Double tap that screen and hit the like button if you're in the building. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can find this article again. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay, let me just Google it real quick. Now look at this, y'all. Look at this. Share my screen. Look at this, y'all. Trump not playing. Trump sues California sues Trump administration over loss of rails over high-speed rail funding. See this? See this? See how they attacking Trump? See how they attacking Trump? Who do y'all think this is from? Who do y'all think this is from, y'all? This is a war. This is a war, y'all. Government going at each other. The government going at each other. Government officials. Government officials going at each other. Government officials. Now look at this, y'all. Here's the article. I got it. Here we go. Look at this. Now we just saw California trying to sue the Trump administration, or they did. Now look what Trump did. This is July 9th. July 9th, 2025. Look at this, y'all. Trump administration sues California, arguing animal cruelty laws cause high egg prices. Let's watch the video.
Learned about in school. Well, now the top health official in the Trump moment of division and polarization. There is one thing all Americans can agree
Fair
on.
use, you
The
two.
price
Fair
of
use.
eggs are too darn high. The USDA says bird flu is to blame. In the last quarter of 2024, it's estimated more than 20 million chickens died in the epidemic. And that has cut the supply of eggs and driven up prices. That's all the supply and demand we learned about in school. Well, now the top health official in the Trump administration, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., is proposing a new approach that he says will lower prices. He wants to let bird flu run wild on farms and then see which birds survive and which ones die. In interviews, Kennedy has said this would enable people to identify and preserve the birds immune to the disease. To help us better understand these options, we are joined by CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder, editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News. She was also a member of the Biden-Harris Transition COVID-19 Advisory Board and is an infectious disease expert. So you are the person that we should be talking to about this. What are your thoughts on this new approach of basically letting bird flu do its thing, rip through American farms, and then see who survives?
Here's the problem with that. Bird flu is 100% lethal in our poultry. Our poultry are highly inbred. There is no genetic diversity. So you're not going to have some that survive, that develop immunity, and some that die. They're all going to die. And these deaths are really quite upsetting to workers. They're really inhumane. You get these birds that are twisting their necks around, kind of like in The Exorcist.
Oh.
It's really horrific to watch. And it's just not the right option to achieve what we're trying to achieve.
So Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, the survival of the fittest, won't work?
It won't work if you don't have genetic diversity. So if they're all genetically the same, they're all going to die.
What she's saying is we broke Darwin a long time ago in factory farms. So the alternative is culling. I don't really even understand how that works. How do they decide what to cull?
Well, if you have infections on, within a poultry flock, they're all going to die anyway. So the idea is cull them, kill them, and to get it over with as quickly as possible. This also makes more economic sense because instead of waiting for them to die off one by one, you just get it all done with one foul swoop. And then you can decontaminate and repopulate. You can't repopulate until they've all died off, because otherwise, if you introduce new chickens into that farm, they're all just going to get reinfected.
Exactly. Takeen said it earlier. She said that's a smart idea. That's a smart idea. Shout out to K Slaw. K Slaw, salute. Appreciate that super sticker, man. Kari says, I see Kennedy's point, but chickens aren't human. Miss Angie says, goddamn egg prices are ridiculous here in California. What's up, Aries? Shout out to Aries Cuisine. How you doing, Aries? Takeen says, get your chicken from the farm, not the cage factory. Move out of California. There's plenty of more affordable areas in America. I agree with that. I agree with that. Ishan. Amy says, when have you ever heard or seen a bird cough? So Trump is now, right? I just wanted to play a little bit of the video, but I really wanted to get to the article. Right. So let me stop sharing. Let me share my screen again. And let's read the actual article. Okay. Let's read the article. The Trump administration sued California and Governor Gavin Newsom. See that? See how it's tit for tat? See how they beefing with each other? Tit for tat. I just showed y'all. They just sued the Trump administration. Now Trump and them is suing his ass back. The Trump administration sued California and Governor Gavin Newsom over the state's anti-animal cruelty laws Wednesday, alleging they are contributing to the high cost of egg prices and are superseded by a federal law regulating egg quality, inspection, and packaging. In its complaint, the Justice Department is attempting to block state laws that require additional space for hen-growing chickens, arguing they are unnecessary red tape and do not advance consumer welfare. California has effectively prevented farmers across the country from using a number of agricultural production methods which were in widespread use and which helped keep eggs affordable, the Justice Department wrote in its civil complaint. 2 California ballot initiatives passed in 2008 and 2018 mandate higher standards and housing requirements for hen-laying chickens and eggs sold in the state, requiring the birds to be given enough space to extend their limbs and move without touching another bird. The 2018 ballot initiative also bars hens from being kept in any enclosure other than a cage-free housing system and mandates space requirements for breeding pigs and calves raised for veal. Those laws, the Trump administration alleges, are preempted by the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution and the Eggs Products Inspection Act, which was passed in 1970. The Trump administration also cites data that showed in the years after the first major restriction was passed, egg production in the state decreased and the egg prices increased by 20%. Let's read that again. The Trump administration also cites data that showed in years after the first major restriction was passed, egg production in the state decreased and the egg prices increased by 20%. California's requirements, the Justice Department says, were driven by activists' conception of what qualifies as cruel animal housing, not by consumer purchasing decisions or scientifically based food safety or animal welfare standards. Y'all heard that shit? We're driven by activists, not by actual standards. This is what y'all got going on in California. Supporters of California laws, like the Humane Society of the United States, argue they protect farm animals from being locked in cruel and extreme confinement. In many cases, egg-laying hens are confined in tiny cages. Locking farm animals in tiny cages is not only inhumane and cruel, it increases the risk of food safety threats like salmonella and E. coli, which also increasing the risk of another pandemic, the Humane Society said in 2023. Do y'all hear what's going on, man? So much more going on. In a post on X, Newsom's press office wrote that President Trump is back to his favorite hobby, blaming California for literally everything. Next up, Gavin Newsom calls the fall of Rome and sent the asteroid that wiped out. Oh, he's just being a prick. Gavin's a prick. Americans across the country have suffered the consequences of liberal policies causing massive inflations for everyday items like eggs, Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a statement. And you know she's under the Trump administration, Pam Bondi. Under President Trump's leadership, we will use the full extent of federal law to ensure that American families are free from oppressive regulatory burdens and restore American prosperity. Do y'all hear that? AKA, that means they're trying to free Americans, right, from working and spending all their money on their bills and food. This is what she's saying. This is what they're working toward. Because so long, Americans been living like that. They got enough to pay their bills, buy some food, and pay for transportation to go back to work. Let's read that part again. Under President Trump's leadership, we will use the full extent of federal law to ensure that American families I don't think y'all be paying attention to the wording. Whenever the Trump administration speaks, whenever they speak, it's always in reference to America, American families, American citizens. It's always about America. I don't know if y'all paying attention to that. I don't know if y'all paying attention to that. But let's read that again. Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a statement, under President Trump's leadership, we will use the full extent of federal law to ensure that American families are free from oppressive regulatory burdens, meaning buying groceries, paying your bills, paying for gas, paying to get a haircut. Regulatory stuff should not be oppressive. It shouldn't be a struggle. This is what they're saying. And restore American prosperity. American families were more prosperous when they were able to save money because things wasn't so expensive. It wasn't so expensive to live. Rent wasn't so goddamn high for no reason. Food wasn't so high for no goddamn reason. Oppressive regulatory burdens. And to restore American prosperity. What does that mean? 2-family household, 2 incomes, both parents are working. They should be able to survive and live a decent life. That's how it was, and that's how it always was in America. This is what they're talking about, y'all. The Trump administration's suit is not the first time that the state's egg laws have been challenged in court. Listen, y'all. In both 2016 and 2017, Republican State Attorney General unsuccessfully sued to block a provision that required the hens to have additional space in their housing units. The Supreme Court declined to hear the case in 2019. 2 years ago, the High Court also rejected a challenge to the state's 2018 animal confinement law brought by pork producers. Wednesday's lawsuit is the Trump administration's latest legal move against Newsom. Let me read it again. Wednesday's lawsuit is the Trump administration's latest legal move against Newsom, who is a frequent critic of the president. Did not tell y'all that? It also comes after blowback about a spike in egg prices earlier this year. Egg prices nationwide averaged $4.55 per dozen in May of this year. According to CBS News Price Tracker, U.S. Department of Agriculture data indicates the wholesale egg prices are only slightly higher than at this time last year, after prices spiked in late 2024. According to the USDA egg market data published earlier this month, prices of California complaint wholesale eggs rose 15 cents week to week from June 20th and June 27th, and were up 80 cents since May 30th. The complaint does not mention the bird flu epidemic that has ravaged the egg industry and drove egg prices up to record highs in March, when the average price of grade A eggs in U.S. cities reached $6.23 per dozen. Y'all see this? So now Trump is suing Gavin Newsom in California because of these egg prices. Because there's no reason these eggs should be that high. And y'all are violating laws and how these animals are being kept, which produces the salmonella and the E. coli in the animals. So now we know when we get these recalls on meat and they say, oh, it's an E. coli recall, it's a salmonella recall, we're finding out it's because the animals don't have enough space in their housing units. That's how these diseases are being developed and being spread. And the goddamn government ain't doing nothing about it. Your state governments are doing nothing about it. So now the big boys got to step in. Shout out to Donald Trump, man. Shout out to the Trump administration. Send his ass to the alligators, Trump. Send Gavin to the alligators. I don't know why he hasn't been arrested. I don't know why he hasn't been arrested. Miss Angie says, I just paid $9 for 18 large A brown eggs today. $9. $9. It's ridiculous. L'Oreal says Gavin is just letting things fall, and so many other governors. Yep. That's why they need to go to jail. That's why they need to go to jail, L'Oreal. They need to go to jail for that. That shit should be a crime. BG Floyd says California Air Resources Board is nothing but a scam to fund oil industry and make more money for special interests. Yeah, send him to the alligators, Keita T. Because this is disgusting, man. Shout out to everybody from California, man. You know, I pray that y'all do better out there. I got people out there in California that I'm very cool with, that I know. And you know, Miss Angie's one of them. And I pray y'all do better, man. You know, I hope Trump come in there and clean that stuff up. And this is just a perfect example. If you are out there in California, you know, make sure, man, y'all are not anti-Trump, man, because Trump care about y'all. Trump care about y'all, whether y'all believe it or not. Now, we know California is a Democratic state, right? But it's about making America great again. And if y'all agree with that, get down in the comment section. If y'all disagree with that, get down in the comment section. Shout out to everyone, man. I appreciate everyone for pulling up on this Saturday. We might be live tomorrow. We might be live tomorrow. If we're not live tomorrow, we'll definitely be live Monday. Okay? Because I will be busy coming up this week. I'll probably stream maybe a couple of days. I know I'm gonna stream Monday for sure. That's why I might stream tomorrow too, because I won't be streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I might stream tomorrow and come back Monday as well. But y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all have y'all notifications set. Make sure y'all hit that bell. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure y'all hit that like button. Double tap y'all screens. If y'all would like to support the show, the super chat is open. The super chat is open. Shout out to everyone who has supported today's show. Most importantly, I appreciate y'all time. I appreciate y'all being here on this Saturday afternoon, man, early evening. You know, it's Saturday, it's nice out. I appreciate y'all time, man. Salute to everyone. Salute to everyone. Shout out to my lovely lady mods for coming through on this Saturday. Shout out to my top lovely lady mods that came through today on this Saturday, taking their time out and holding it down for a brother. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. If y'all would like to support the Ross Tuition Fund, there's the directions right there on your screen. It's also in the chat as well. Make sure when you send your donation, you make sure you add the initials ST to the memo box so I can shout you out on the next show. So I appreciate y'all once again. Salute to everyone. Much love to everyone. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.